Hello, fellow doodlers. This is Rick, aka Iron Man, on the forum, and I just wanted to take some time to demonstrate the way I've been using SolidWorks to split files that are larger than the print bed. It's worked out well for me, and could be old news to most of you. Don't know, but I figured I'd share, and got a demonstration part here just to show you. This is just a strut um, that I configured. It's about 10 inches long. Obviously would not fit on the print bed. Solid model, parametric, and the cool thing about SolidWorks is, and I don't know about SketchUp. I honestly have never used SketchUp, but it is parametric technology, and you can alter and put in geometries and change them at your will, and it affects the part in the desired way. But anyway, this is about 200 thousandths thick on that axis. Like I said, about 10 inches long. And what I want to do is split it in the middle. Now you can do that a number of ways. You could actually extrude geometry in the center to cut out the center, but then that takes away material. But we can use technique known or geometry known as a surface. A surface actually has truly no mass, no thickness. It's a zero thickness entity, so it doesn't take away anything from the model. And let me show you what I mean. So we've got some planes to work in here. I'm going to pick the front plane, which is actually down here. Get some orientation going. And we're going to construct a line right in the middle of the part. And I've created this on the origin, the whole part, that is. So I'm going right in the center here, although that's not really that critical. So I'm just going to create some geometry here that looks like a dovetail. And you can see how the lines kind of meet up with their prior selves. Kind of neat. The geometry does not have to be exact for the way I do it, because it's all going to match up at the end. In fact, you could, instead of a dovetail looking thing, you could actually put a circle, you know, larger than a half diameter, and that would work the same way as well. Anyway, so we've got this new geometry that I just created. I'm going to exit the sketch, and then we're going to go and insert a surface, extrude. What this will do is bring up a dialog box, and you have to select the geometry that you want to extrude. And take a look at this. I'll change it to through all. It actually puts a cut like a cookie cutter right through the middle of the unit. Right here, I'm going to select an angle. In this case, I'm going to try about 2 degrees and do the extrude. Okay, so that's executed. There's actually a little blade of zero thickness going through this thing with a taper. And let me show you what I'm going to do with that now. At this point, I am going to insert a cut. Oops. A cut extrude. If I can get to it, that'd be great. Cut with surface. So you've seen a little. You see a little arrow here just appeared to tell me what side it's going to cut on. I got to do both of them anyway, so I'm going to just pick that and hit go. All right, so we've got our cut. It cut away the side of the model that the arrow is pointing to. I'm going to actually hide that little cutter so I can show you this. You can see how the dovetail is actually tapered, and that's going to assist in the assembly later on. The other cool thing about the surface is that it's equivalent on each side. So I cut out this side, and I'm going to save this as an STL now. And nothing new here. All the settings are good. I'm just going to save that. So that was saved as part 1.6. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to re-enter my surface cut. The geometry never went away, by the way. It cut, but it was still there. It was just cutting for the sake of the model. I'm going to switch the direction right here. Oops. I guess not. Let me try that again. I'm going to switch the direction right here. The arrow went the other way. Okay. Pop that in, and there's my other side. So I will now save that as an STL, and we'll call that part 16A. Actually, I didn't save that as an STL, did I? I just did a save as. Let's try STL. Part 16A, and save. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the two STLs saved. Again, on this side of the part, it's the exact inverse to the other side of the cutter. So these should fit together pretty perfectly. The thing you have to be sure of is that your extruder thicknesses are calibrated. Yeah, and different angles will actually help. You can zoom in here. With the extent of your geometry, I mean, you can increase that angle as much as you want. I've gone as far as 9 degrees just to ensure that the parts go together really easily. And but the greater the angle, the more likelihood the parts won't stick together. So you can go straight down and have no angle, and they'll be really rough to put together. You gotta hit them with a hammer. But increasing the angle and using some acetone or slurry or even epoxy to put them together has been working great. So that's it for this section. I will change over the movie and show you what the parts look like. Okay, so we have got our two parts. I just got them off the printer. I have trimmed them up, gotten the radiuses out of the corners and all that stuff, and didn't use any fill on this, by the way. And let's see how they work. You can see the dovetails are looking pretty good. So let's see how they go together. I'm just going to press them together like so. And you've got a pretty good part. It's extremely strong joint. I haven't glued it yet. I could probably get away with twisting it once it is glued, but 10-inch strut off a 6-inch build platform. Well, thanks for letting me share, and we'll see you on the forum.